Hi.
The high is the hardest. I cut out high.
Palm Springs is a 2020
It's not that easy.
I mean, I know it's not easy.
My name is Raghav and I want to talk about Palm Springs. Palm Springs is a 2020 American romantic comedy film directed by Max Barbakow in his directorial debut. The film follows two strangers who meet at a Palm Springs wedding only to get stuck in a time loop. Remember when I said, a year ago? Goddamn, has it really been that long? I'd said that Groundhog Day is basically a film genre now. Well, case in point, you got Andy Samberg doing it, so, we're mainstream. Andy Samberg plays Niles, a carefree dude who's already been stuck in the time loop when the movie starts and already given up to his life of reliving the same day over and over. Now, we all know Andy Samberg from his super successful comedy ventures with Saturday Night Live, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Popstar, and of course, The Lonely Island, which comprises of Akiva, Schaffer, and Jorma Taccone, along with Samberg himself. Lonely Island produced this, and their touch and their sense of humor really comes through even with the very first title card in the film. So when the movie started and their name popped up, I knew we were in good hands. Andy Samberg is just oozing charm and goofiness. He's incredibly likable as a person, just stuck in a bad situation making the best of it, and it's just fun to watch him. Cristin Milioti, if you're not aware of who she is because you're a hermit crab still looking for a new shell and haven't had time to turn on the television in the last 10 years, is the mother
From How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That, of course, isn't her only claim to fame. She was also in The Wolf of Wall Street, Fargo, and that amazing Star Trek episode of Black Mirror, which is a really good one. She's a solid actress and plays off Andy Samberg really well. And together they form a pretty decent duo. They're able to bring a very unique feeling of the mundane in the context of repeating the same situation over and over, but adding a sense of whimsy and eccentricity because of their personalities and shared experiences. J.K. Simmons, as always, is an absolute treasure. He pops off the screen in every scene he's in. He really steals the limelight and he adds some lightness and humor to an already funny film. I have to give special mention to Meredith Hagner, who channels that particular brand of young woman that Nick Kroll has made a whole career out of at this point. She's super funny and pitch perfect with her performance, and every time she goes, "Wait, what?" I crack up. The film was directed by Max Barbakow in his directorial debut, and he does a good enough job of keeping the story flowing and consistent. A time loop can get pretty stale pretty soon, so I think he deserves credit for managing to keep the film feeling fresh and not repetitive, even though the film is literally repeating itself. It's a hard thing to pull off. A lot of credit goes to the cinematography by Nguyen Tran, who, for my D&D fans out there, is the wife of Sam Riegel of Critical Role fame. It doesn't really have anything to do with the movie, but it's just exciting to find a D&D connection sometimes. Anyway, she's done a great job in helping keep the visuals fresh and new, giving us different takes on the same shots to keep it somehow consistent but not monotonous. There's nothing particularly special in the visuals. It's not groundbreaking or show-offy or anything. It's just very competent, and that's worth commending. Overall, this is a lighthearted romp dabbling in a couple of genres we are very familiar with. There's nothing new or unique in terms of the presentation or the concept of the plot. It very much follows the formula of both time loop and sci-fi movies and rom-coms, and unfortunately it kind of leans a little too much on the rom-com part. It's just weird to see the imbalance in the priorities of the writing and narrative decisions, because the film takes the rom-com stuff deathly seriously but doesn't take the sci-fi stuff seriously at all, to the point where the third act is just one big joke followed by an all too serious attempt at a classic rom-com end of movie big gesture. Not to mention that although the film is really trying to delve into the characters and give us some depth and real world scenarios in terms of their relationships, in the end the film just focuses on the sci-fi plot and totally chickens out with actually confronting the real world consequences of their actions and, their past. Like, I get that being in a time loop helps you think about what you've done and gives you perspective to come out as a better person, but your actions in the past don't just get erased. You still have to deal with the real physical consequences that come with being, disruptive, selfish assholes. Gotta deal with that in the movie. But the film doesn't really feel confident in going through all that and kind of drags out the romance plot and then fully rushes the ending. But to offset that, the film is really, really funny. Just hilarious. Both Cristin Milioti and Andy Samberg are great in their roles, and they basically carry the film. And everyone else is doing a good job supporting them. There's a lot of great jokes and funny performances, not to mention that just watching Andy Samberg run is its own source of joy and happiness. I would recommend this movie to anyone looking for a good time, but I would advise that you don't go into it with too many high expectations and just try to enjoy it for what it is. A funny and entertaining movie that tries not to take itself too seriously, even if it runs out of steam right at the very end.